All right, Coach Tomlin, there's been some additions and some departures in the coaching staff, namely Coach Flores leaving, moving to Minnesota, bringing on Aaron Curry. Can you kind of talk about specifically, those moves and what they mean for the team?
Sure. First of all, man, our experience with Coach Flores, man, was an awesome one. I don't necessarily know that I anticipated him being here a long time. Any day that we had a guy of his capabilities on staff in the capacity that he was a good day for us. And so we're excited about having him for a year. Weren't really surprised when he moved on. And I think just the trajectory of the decision making when we replaced him with Aaron Curry is it'd be very difficult to replace Flores in the same profile of person. And so I just simply pivoted and changed the profile. That way players are not comparing Coach Curry to Coach Flores. It's different. It's different in a lot of ways. Aaron is a young guy that brings that young guy energy with a playing career and things of that nature, the physical coach on field and things of that nature. And it's a similar thing I went through years ago when I lost Scotty Montgomery as a young dynamic guy, and I didn't try to replace him with another young dynamic guy. I replaced him with an old sage and Richard Mann. And so sometimes when you lose a quality coach who's outstanding with a certain profile, sometimes it's best just to change the profile so that the other person can be themselves, and you acknowledge that change is a part of it. And so when it's different from a profile standpoint, none of us waste any time comparing the likes and differences. It's just simply the work.
No, absolutely. And another addition on the defense side of the ball, Jason Brooks coming in as a defensive quality control coach, and also a new role for the team. Just kind of talk about what he brings to the table and to that side of the ball.
Man, he's what you call a professional quality control man. He's done it in this league for a long time at a high level. He has experience in analytics and quality control. He also has on-field coaching experience. And so he's a guy whose profile is exciting from a positional standpoint because there's a lot of behind-the-scenes work that needs to get done in order to make our days go not only inside stadiums, but more importantly, the construction of practice and the significant roles that the quality control men play in the construction of those positive days. Here's a guy who's ultra experienced in that way, but also brings some on-the-field coaching expertise that's going to help us once we get on the field. And so we're excited about hiring him. Very familiar with his old man. His old man was a coach named Clarence Brooks, man, that coached in the NFL, was a D-line coach for a long period of time. And so coaching football is kind of steeped in his DNA, man. Been aware of him for some time and just really excited about getting an opportunity to include him in what we do.
Yeah. JD doesn't like it when the cards ain't right. So you gotta make sure the cards are right.
Hey, the quality control guys is just that. And oftentimes I challenge those guys in that way. Control the quality, meaning the cleanliness, the fluidity of our day is oftentimes dictated by their preparedness and the preparedness of those that they work with. The more they can tee up a scout squad or a card offense or defense, and they're ready to provide an accurate look fluidly and get in and out of the huddle at a good pace, it really kind of adds fluidity and a good feel to our day. So it's significant work.
On your assessment, how do you feel the Steelers have fared so far these first couple of weeks of free agency?
I feel good about it, but I don't know that I have anything to compare it to. I'm not one that pays attention to the Joneses and looks at levels of activity of others relative to ours or how much money people are spending relative to ours. We generally have an agenda about needs that we want to fill in an offseason. There are two major ways of doing it, free agency and the draft. We try to prioritize that based on the depth of the draft at certain positions and so forth. And so it's just a continual melding of information and continual conversations, and feel real good about where we are and the people that we've been able to add to this point, knowing that we still have a means of continuing to do so throughout the remainder of the spring.
Yeah. Now, I know one of those additions, Patrick Peterson, we happen to be sitting out here in Arizona. Patrick Peterson, a longtime Cardinal. He talked a lot about about your influence on him and his decision to come to Pittsburgh. Can you just talk about Patrick Peterson and kind of what he brings to the team, from that position?
It's a beautiful story. I just love Pat P. First of all, I admire his talents, the things that we all think of when we think of Pat P. the things that allowed him to go so high in the draft, the things that allowed him to play at a high level for over a decade in this league at the cornerback position. But over his time, and even his time before the league, I just have always been appreciative of his love and passion for this game and his football character that's continually on display in everything that he does. I'm as attracted to him for those reasons as I am his resume and his physical talents. You're talking about a veteran guy that a lot of these guys grew up on admiring in his style of play. They'll get an opportunity to be around him day to day and see that none of it is mystical, that is very scientific how he builds his preparedness, and that his love and respect and appreciation for the game is continually on display in his prep and what type of teammate he is, and his respect and how he plays the game. I'm just so excited about him just doing what he normally does, but providing a visual image for younger players to be a blueprint, if you will, in terms of how to conduct themselves, how to play at a high level, how to respect and love and appreciate this game that we're all involved in.
Yeah, no, Coach, I appreciate the time sitting down with us. I know it's busy here at the owners' meetings. Thank you for taking some time out.
Man, always for you. No problem.
I appreciate it.
Yep.